welcome to episode 121 of the Graceful Tangle podcast. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and do that. And then don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any future videos. I have quite a fun episode for you guys today. It's going to be a little bit different. I'm kind of in the process of finishing a good bit of projects, kind of getting past some deadlines that I've had kind of just on my mind and in the works for the past couple of months, and then transitioning from like summer themed projects to fall themed projects. But I thought I would go ahead and film. Even though I'm kind of in that transition, I thought I'd take the opportunity to share some big finished objects and some things that I have coming up but haven't quite started. So it's going to be a little bit of a unique episode, but I hope that you still stick around and enjoy it. Today is September 2nd. It is a Friday, which usually I don't film on Fridays, but today I had some time and I'm going to have less time over the weekend, so I thought I'd take advantage of it, and I'm happy to be here. A couple of notes. First of all, there is my brother is mowing the grass currently, so if you hear that, I apologize. I don't think you'll be able to, thankfully, but you know, if there's a steady hum, that might be what that is. But like I said, I have time now and I probably won't later, so we're just going to go ahead and go for it. Yeah, I think that is it for all of the introduction / announcements. I'm pretty sure that's it. As always, be sure to check out the description box below. I have tons of links down there for social media platforms, pattern shops, Facebook groups that we have for the podcast / the Graceful Tangle / Make-A-Longs. There's a couple. And some specific things that I'm going to be talking about today are also linked down in the description box. Kind of all over the place for the introduction today. Side note, I had some coffee earlier, and I usually don't have much caffeine, and this definitely had caffeine, so I kind of feel all over the place. And that might come through in today's podcast. It's going to be a fun one. But anyway, I have a couple of fun finished objects to finally share with you guys, so let's go ahead and hop into that. It's definitely going to be a fun episode. I can feel it. I am like, I don't know, I feel so scatterbrained. But anyway, first finished object, because I cannot wait another second to talk about this. I finished my scrappy granny stripe blanket and I love it so much. It's one of my favorite finished objects, or favorite makes ever. It's the biggest finished object I've had for a while. If you're new to the channel, first of all, thank you so much for joining. I am so excited you're here. But I have been working on this blanket for quite a while. I kind of compiled all of my cotton scraps from ever since I started crocheting. I started when I was 12 and I'm 20, so about 8 years now. And this is literally, like, there's probably some yarn in here that is quite literally 8 years old. So I kind of compiled them all and created this one big blanket. I used the granny stripe stitch. I don't remember how many stitches I chained, but just kind of until it was as wide as I wanted. And then I used a 5mm crochet hook. So, and most of this is worsted weight yarn as well. So it's a really nice gauge. It's not too drapey, but at the same time, it's like, it's not too open, I guess might be the right word. It's definitely drapey, but it's just got a little bit of sturdiness to it, which is exactly what I wanted. I hope this blanket lasts forever, and I think a slightly smaller hook, like a 5mm with this yarn, is going to help ensure that. But yeah, and it's just all cotton yarn, and I just kind of crocheted until I thought it was long enough. I am 5'1", and it is about that height. Approximately 50 by 60 inches is kind of what I like to go for blanket sizes, but this one I think is a little bit wider than 50 inches, but it's a good size. Definitely what I was going for. And so I just did the granny stripe stitch forever, and then I added a 1 round granny stitch border to the whole blanket in this really pretty light gray color, just to bring it all together a little bit, make the edges look nicer than they did previously. And that's about it. It was just a super mindless project. Worked on it here and there for, like I said, quite a while. I think I might have started it this year, but I honestly don't remember. I'm going to have to look back because I'm not sure. but it has been in the works for quite a while, and I'm so excited to have it done. At the beginning of August, I made myself the goal to finish it this month, and I just barely did it. I finished it, let me think, on August 30th. I think that's right. I think it was August 30th. And then I'm trying to remember, is that right? Maybe on August 29th. Regardless, I finished it at the very end of August, filmed the reel and posted that on the last day of August, and just to kind of complete the whole project. I did put a couple of details project-wise in that reel, so I'll link it down in the description box if you want to check it out. That's just kind of the route that I decided to take for that. If you want more details about this pattern, or just kind of how to create your own scrappy blanket like this, let me know and I can create a blog post. I think that would be the easiest way to do it. It's not, I didn't use a pattern for this, but I'm also not going to be writing one up because it's really simple. I mean, there's tons of great tutorials on YouTube for the granny strip stitch, and that's literally all this is. So obviously it's not really my own pattern. But yeah, I love it so much. I've covered up with it. I used it last night. I sat in this chair actually and read before I went to bed. And it was so nice to snuggle up under this and, read a really good book, which I'll talk about in a little bit. Yeah, it's been amazing. So I absolutely love scrappy blankets. I feel like they're such a beautiful way to kind of have so many memories from all of those yarns in one place, and in something useful like a blanket and cozy. It's just so special. So I actually don't have any scrappy blankets in the works right now, which is the first time that has happened in quite a while. And I think I'm going to give myself a break from them. I don't have like a ton of scraps anymore, which is saying a lot because I used to have so many. It was overwhelming. But that being said, I will definitely make another one in the future because, like I said, they're so, so special. So that is definitely the biggest FO that I have to share, the biggest one that I have had in quite a while, and it definitely feels good. But I do have one more finished object, and that is this pair of socks. So I mentioned last week I had one of these socks done, and I wanted to set myself the goal of completing the second one over the course of the work week, so Monday through Friday. And then it's Friday, and I knit the heel of the second sock this morning. And so they're done. I hit that goal, and I finished a full pair of socks, which is awesome. These have been in the works for quite a little while now. I just really took my time with these. These are a Christmas gift, so obviously they won't be given until December. So, I was in no rush to get them done, but it was just really nice to have a pair of vanilla socks on the go, and that's kind of something I think I'm going to always try to have now. It just works so well with, if I want to take a project with me somewhere or go somewhere else in the house and just bring something small, it's just so nice to have something like this on the needles. So, and it's also a great way to, try to get ahead on gifts and things like that, and you just don't have to think about it as much. Yeah, I really like having them on the needles. But anyway, here is the finished pair of socks, though. I used Barocco Comfort Sock. I know I threw the label in here. Yeah. Barocco Comfort Sock. This is a 50% superfine nylon, 50% superfine acrylic blend. This is the colorway number 1818. And they're really fun. Like I said, they're a Christmas gift. I think the recipient is going to absolutely love them, but I don't want to say who they're for in case they're watching. And yeah, that's about it. I used my own Success Socks pattern. It's free on Ravelry and my blog, or you can find the PDF on Etsy. Really inexpensive. You just can't have a free anything on Etsy. Just a standard vanilla sock pattern, super simple. Afterthought heel, all knit, one by one, ribbed cuff. I updated the pattern earlier in the summer, so it's newly updated. Got a kind of layout refresh. Yeah, I hope that you choose to take advantage of that free pattern if you are itching to create your own pair of socks. I also have, I haven't talked about it in a while, but I have multiple weights available in that Success Socks line. I've got fingering, which is just the standard Success Socks, and then DK worsted and bulky, and slipper sock, which don't have a heel. They're super beginner friendly, and I have a step-by-step tutorial for those here on the channel. If you're curious, I will link that down below. It would be the perfect project for this time of year as well, and like as Christmas approaches and handmade gifts and all of that. I definitely plan to make another pair of those here soon to kind of talk about it more, kind of refresh that pattern a little bit. But anyway, I'm so happy these are done. They were so much fun to work up. I really, really enjoy using this yarn. And yeah, I'm excited they're done. It was also nice to just kind of have that goal of making a full sock in 5 days. And it was, I mean, I don't want to say easy in like a boastful way at all, but it was easier than I thought it was going to be to make the time to do that. Like, it just wasn't as time consuming as I thought it was going to be, I guess. I wasn't overwhelmed with having, you know, having that goal to get something done on this sock every day. It was nice to just have something that I really wanted to get done and to prioritize that. Anyway, glad they're done. Awesome. Excited to move on to the next pair. Okay, that is it for FOs until design talk. So, let's see, do I actually have any works in progress to share? I don't. I have 2 things I'm going to be starting soon, so I can go ahead and show the yarn for those, because I haven't actually started either of them. So let's just talk about that for a second. So first up, I'm going to be starting a sweater. I really want to have a new oversized pullover style knit sweater for the fall and winter season this year. It is not cold here in Alabama at all yet. The mornings are like super early in the morning and it's ever so slightly chilly, and I am super excited about it. But we are still having, you know, 85 to 90 degree days. So definitely not sweater weather yet. But when it gets to that point, I want to have something new and fun to wear. So I'm going to be using Knit Picks Bravo Bulky in the colorway Denim for a new sweater. I have a pattern picked out by 2 of Wands. I don't remember what it's called right now, but I'm hoping to start this week, and then I will talk about that. I'll talk about, you know, the pattern itself next week, but I think that's what I'm going to go for. I kind of have like an ideal fit in my mind, and so I'm hoping that that fits it. And I really want to use that pattern anyway, so I think I'm going to go for it with this yarn. And I'm really excited about it. So that's the first thing I'm going to be starting very soon, and that'll be a new whip to work on. And then also I'm going to be starting another pair of vanilla socks because, like I said, I found that I just really like having a pair of socks on the go. And these are going to be another gift for later in the year. And I'm going to be using this yarn, which I have not used before. It is by Hobie. It's one of their sock yarns. It's called Atlas, and it's a standard 75-25 blend. So 75% superwash wool, 25% polyamide. This is a 100 gram ball, and you get 459 yards. So quite a lot of yardage. And it's in this really, really beautiful colorway. Definitely reminds me of fall. I realize that it is not fall yet, but it will be at the end of this month, technically speaking. So I thought it'd be fun to kind of start these socks and knit on them, you know, throughout this month. Hopefully get them done, yeah, over the course of this month for sure. Yeah, so those are 2 projects that I'm going to be starting very soon, and I'm super excited about both of them. Like I said, I've definitely been, like, I feel like for the majority of the summer, obviously I've released some new patterns, so I've been working on new things, but for at least the past few weeks, I've kind of been sharing the same things, like that pair of vanilla socks and the blanket in particular. And so I'm really excited to just be refreshing the palette a little bit, starting some new things, transitioning design-wise to more like fall-themed projects. I have some hats coming up and some socks, and I'm just so pumped for it to actually be the season for that. Yeah, I'm really, really excited. So that is it for all of the finished objects and future work in progress plans. So I do have a couple of designs to talk about, so let's go ahead and jump into that. Okay, for design talk today, I have a brand new pattern that just released, so I thought I would mention that first. This is the Mortar Dishcloth. And I love this dishcloth pattern so much. I used a brand new yarn by Originally Lovely Yarn, which is Caitlin and her company. I adore Caitlin. I have followed her for so long, and we have kind of become closer virtual friends here recently. We were talking via Instagram and realized we both have a lot in common, which is so cool and so special. I'm so grateful for the connections that I am able to make through one app. It just blows my mind. But anyway, this is a brand new yarn for her company, and I love it so much. It is a 100% Pima cotton yarn. I'll link it down below if you want to check it out. And this pattern features it. So absolutely, you can use whatever yarn that you'd like. I do recommend a cotton DK, but you can use something else if you prefer. And I made these 2 samples for pattern purposes. And and I love them. So really quickly, the colors that I used for these two, if you're curious, the light blue / gray is called Stone, the darker blue is Ocean, and then I use the same white for both borders, and it's the color Powder. And then for this dishcloth, I used, I think Penny is the name of this like copper color, and then Shell is this light pink. So I think both of these color combinations are so cute. I love how they like are totally different but kind of go together. Yeah, I just really love this pattern. So I'll link the pattern down below. You can find the PDF on Ravelry and Etsy, or the blog post, like the pattern itself in kind of a blog or blog post form. I don't know how I'm supposed to phrase that. You can find it on the blog for free if that's how you choose to work your patterns. But then I also have a step-by-step video tutorial here on the channel, and I'll link that down below as well. So this stitch pattern is kind of unique. I wanted to provide that visual aid, but don't let that intimidate you because it's really not difficult at all once you get the hang of it. It is so fun, and I hope that you guys enjoy the pattern. So that is a new release, which is always so exciting. And then I pulled out a design that I haven't worked on in a while, and I'm super excited to be working on it again. This is a knit tee design. I am kind of designing it over or after, or inspired by, or whatever, the shirt that I'm actually wearing. It's like a kind of cropped shirt, super oversized, like box style, and I love it. I have this shirt in a couple of colors. I absolutely adore it. It's from Old Navy if you're curious, but they are always out of stock because I found them. That's why they're out of stock. Not really, but I kind of believe that. Anyway, they're out of stock, so I can't buy any more yet, but I am itching to do so because I really, really love this shirt. So I wanted to design a knit version after it. This pattern, just to go ahead and put this out there, I am hoping to, design it and release it and all of that jazz, but it will not be coming out until next year. Probably springtime, or maybe like late spring, early summer, because it's going to be a while before I even finish this sample, and it's kind of silly to release a knit tee in winter, and that's when, I'll be finishing this up. So it'll be coming out next year, but I'm excited to finish this sample. I'm hoping to do so soon-ish so that I can wear it throughout the fall season, because short sleeve is kind of appropriate all year round here for the most part. So I'm really excited about it. I'm hoping that it works out well. I'm trying to kind of make it match like style and fit wise this one as much as I can. I'm excited to learn some new things through this design while keeping it like as simple as possible, because I want it to be very basic so that you can kind of customize it yourself. Yeah, I'm excited about it though. It's going well. Last time I shared it, I was where this marker is, so I have not made a ton of progress or anything. I literally just picked this up for the first time in quite a while last night. But I did finish up the body. I wanted to add just a few more rounds, and then I have split for the front and back panels. And I've only done a few rows since then. You can kind of see how this half is a little bit longer than the second half now. And I'm just going to keep working up to create the armhole in depth. And then I think I will take that down to even fewer stitches to prepare for the neckline. And I'm doing the same thing on the back. Seam the shoulders, and the body will be done. And I will add the sleeves, which are going to be short sleeves, like this shirt, like very open short sleeve. I'm excited about it. It's going great so far. So I'm really hoping that I can stick with it and, create something as close to this fit as I can. The yarn that I am using is Knit Picks Cotton in the colorway Mustard Seed. This is one of my absolute favorite yarns. It's a cotton and linen blend, so super lightweight and open. A great yarn for where I live and for the summer season, but of course it's awesome year-round as well. And then this yarn comes in 50-gram balls, so you get 123 yards if you're curious in those details. But yeah, I'm excited about it. Like I said, it's going great. I'm so happy to finally have it picked back up again. It's a great mindless project, almost all knit stitch, so that's amazing. And yeah, I'm hoping to make lots of progress on this throughout this next week, so hopefully I'll have a big update to share with this next week. We'll have to see. Okay, and then let's see, what other design do I have to share? Dishcloth. So I'm working on another new dishcloth pattern. This one is Tunisian Crochet. It's my second time kind of trying to work on slash perfect. You know, nothing is perfect, but get it as close to there as possible, I guess. And anyway, it's my second time trying this design out. I did it earlier this summer and just wasn't fully pleased with it. But since then I have learned a little bit more about Tunisian crochet, and so I've applied that knowledge into this pattern now, and I think it's going so much better. So definitely on track to release this probably at the beginning of next month is what I'm thinking. We'll have to see. I might do it later this month. I'm not sure. I haven't decided yet. But regardless, it'll be coming out soon-ish, and I am very pumped about it. So here's the one that I'm currently working on. It just uses the Tunisian Simple Stitch. Super duper basic pattern, but I love it. I love the Tunisian Simple Stitch. It's going to make such a great dishcloth, I think, or washcloth, or trivet, you know, kind of whatever you want to use it for. But yeah, it's going great. So I have one finished, which is this yellow one. It's kind of wrinkled because it's been in this bag for a little bit now, but here's what this one looks like. This colorway is Creme Brulee, I believe, of We Crochet Dishy. And then I think this gray is called Silver. I could be wrong, and I don't have the label in here, but I'm pretty sure that's right. It's just a really nice light gray. And then I actually have this yarn in here as well. This is Dishy Twist in the colorway Conch. Might be how you say that. C-O-N-C-H. I don't know if that's right or not, but I'm hoping to create one that's like a 2-color version. I have a look that I'm trying to go for in my mind, and I'm pretty sure that it's possible, but I'm not 100% sure. So I will have to keep you updated on that. But I'm excited about it. I'm excited for that idea. So I want to be able to highlight like these 2 colors together. I just think it would look so cool. So that's what I'm going to try to do. But anyway, I just want to keep you updated on this project because it's going really great so far. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I love Tunisian crochet, and it's kind of like something that I'm continually learning more about still, which is so much fun. So, having a great time on that design. Okay, and then something that I'm going to be starting very soon, I'm going to be beginning a new blanket. This is a design that I had been preparing for like all summer. I got the yarn a while back, and I wanted to finish up that scrappy blanket before I started it. But I have a collection that I've been growing for quite a while now. It's all sweaters as of right now, but it's the Efficient collection. It features the double crochet stitch almost primarily. It's just kind of designed to be like a really beginner-friendly collection, kind of trying to show that you can create really awesome projects, really big projects with just a few skills. You don't have to be an advanced crocheter to create a sweater or a cardigan. That's kind of the message that I'm trying to portray through this collection. And so right now I have the Efficient Tee, Efficient Pullover, and Efficient Cardigan, which are all obviously garment designs, but I'm going to be starting the Efficient blanket. So once again, it's going to be a super duper simple blanket design using the double crochet stitch. And I'm going to be using We Crochet Billow for my sample. So funny story, I planned this design early in the summer, got the yarn, and then had to put it on hold for, you know, to finish up some other projects like I mentioned. I had a palette all picked out. I literally even did the math to figure out, you know, how much yarn I would need, how many stitches to cast on for the size that I wanted, like everything. Can't find that piece of paper. Of course I can't. Of course I can't find that piece of paper. So I think this is the palette that I'm going for, but I'm not 100% sure because I can't remember if I decided to use 5 colors or 4 colors. But regardless, I love this palette, so I think I'm going to go with it, but I'm still hoping that those notes turn up. Anyway, so here's the palette that I have chosen, at least right now. Like I said, this is all We Crochet Billow, which is an unevenly spun crochet bulky weight cotton yarn. I love it. I've used it many times, one of my favorite yarns, and I have the colorways Comfrey, which is a really nice purple, Whisker, this one is falling apart, but it's called Turmeric, best mustard yellow ever, Cadet, and Tea Rose, I believe, yeah, Tea Rose, which is like the perfect pink. I love this colorway so much. So that is the palette that I have chosen. It's going to be color blocked, which I'm really excited about. So Like I'll be using multiple skeins of each color, but they will have their own little section in the blanket. And it's going to be amazing. I'm so excited to start this project. Like I said, I've been looking forward to doing it all summer, and the time has finally come. So I'm hoping to release that pattern maybe in November. Early November, I think, would be a good goal to try to hit for that. Definitely give me enough time to make it myself. But yeah, very excited about it. So, as I've mentioned multiple times throughout this episode, I am definitely looking forward to the fall and winter seasons. It's just the prime time for knitters and crocheters, as I know that we all know. So I'm super excited to see what it holds for like me as a designer and everything I'm going to be releasing, but also all of my other favorite designers. I know they are working on some really amazing projects for the upcoming season as well. So that is it for all of the knit and crochet content. This is going to be a little bit of a longer episode than the past few episodes have been, I think. But let's go ahead and talk about a little devotional that I have to share and a life update. So for a devotional this week, I wanted to just share for a couple minutes about something that has encouraged me this week. I'm currently going through a sermon series with a friend, and the first sermon in this series was about singleness, and that's a subject that I've talked about on the podcast before. It's something that I'm honestly really passionate about, and that I pray I can use my own season to help and guide the younger generation, as I get older and as I am in contact with younger girls who are walking through the same thing. I just hope to be an encouragement and a place for advice for them as they navigate that season as well, because it can definitely be hard to go through, which is an entirely different subject. But in the course of that sermon, something that was mentioned was how God can use you right where you're at. And that was such an encouragement, and I pray that it is for you too, because so often I feel like, we feel that we're called to do something really big and really amazing for the kingdom. And while, yes, absolutely, those things are so good and exciting, don't forget that God, if you are seeking to glorify and honor Him in all you do, then you are doing just that right where you are, whether that is inside your home, or at your church, or in your community, or at your current job or workplace or career. If you're seeking to follow Him, then He is using you right where you are. So don't negate that. Don't be so focused on what you hope happens in the future, or what you are desiring or praying about, that you forget what's happening, or miss what's happening right where you are. Two verses that I feel like are a really big encouragement for this. The first one is Colossians 3:23, and it says, "Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord, not for human masters." And then to go right along with that, 1 Corinthians 10:31, if I can find it, says, "So whether you eat or drink or whatever you do, do it all for the glory of God." And so while, in our minds, going to work every day at the same place might not seem as big or beneficial as going on, say, like a really big missions trip to a community that is in dire need of help and of Jesus, those are two very different things, of course, but God can use you in both places, and He does use you in both places. So I encourage you to seek to glorify Him in everything you do. Set about your work, no matter how minuscule it may seem, and do it unto Him, because He deserves all of the glory. And as we give Him that, as we please Him through whatever we set out to do, He will bless us because of that and provide opportunities in the future for us. So that's just been a really big encouragement, as I said about the things that kind of seem unimportant in my own eyes. Do them unto Him, because every little thing matters to Christ, and He cares about every little detail in our lives. So I hope that was a little encouragement to you. It just kind of shined a light on kind of the mundane moments in life for me this week, and I pray that it does the same to you. In terms of a life update, two things to mention. One, work is going great. I am a nanny, if you're new. Love love, love, love this season of life and treasuring every single moment, every day, because it is truly a blessing and a job that I've prayed for, and I've just been encouraged to, live in the moment because it won't last. So that's going great. Obviously, I graduated college over the summer, so kind of continuing to ease into not having to worry about school and to devote more time into the business and this YouTube channel and designs, and it's been very exciting, and I'm so hopeful for what is to come for this place. But I have also been enjoying a really good book series that I thought I would share briefly. I've talked about this author before. She is one of my absolute favorites, Karen Kingsbury. And one day I hope to own all of her books and read them multiple times because I love them. But I'm reading this series called the Sunrise series right now. And it is so good. So if you're looking for a good new book series to try that is, lighthearted in the sense that it's fiction but still has Christian roots, I highly recommend it. Because I am enjoying it very much. I'm currently on this is the third book. I finished it this week and I've started the fourth, which I think it's called Sunset, maybe. I was trying to find the other books in this series so that I could kind of make that for sure before I tell you the wrong thing, because I don't know if it's in here. Sometimes she has the whole, all of her books listed in the front of the book. It doesn't look like she has that in this book, but anyway, I believe it's called, oh, she does, yay, Sunset. Yeah, so that's the fourth book in this series, and it's so good. It's been such a good series. It's talked about some, really real, not really issues, but just topics that are really big to talk about in such a beautiful way, and I have just fully enjoyed reading them. So, in particular, was it this one? I'm gonna know from reading a few words on a random page, but this is so random, but I had an orthodontist appointment, a week ago, and I was reading this book in the office, and it was getting to, in the waiting room, and it was getting to a part that was, just really emotional, kind of like a climax of something that had been happening the entire book, and I am not one to cry during books, that's, I don't really do that, I guess. I almost lost it in the orthodontist office. It was just, it's just a really good book. So, if you're itching for a series to read, I thought I would share that because it's really nice to just kind of decompress after a long day and read for a little bit, or even at work if I have a few minutes, or if, she's occupied with Mickey Mouse and I don't really want to watch Mickey Mouse. It's nice to have something that isn't, completely misdirecting my attention, but very enjoyable nonetheless. So, anyways, I think that's all I have to share for this episode. I hope that you've enjoyed it. I know it's kind of been a little bit all over the place than usual, but I hope that it has still been an encouragement and inspiration, like always. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and then click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any future content, and all of the links in the description box below as well. I will see you all next time. Until then, happy making. Bye.